Hi, in this particular playlist we're going to be looking at the Paper 3 higher tier from Edexcel in November 2017. Please do stop the video, have a look at each of the questions and then compare your solutions. Okay, so I'm going to aim for each of these videos to be about 20 to 30 minutes long or so. It should give you about an hour's worth of fairly focused revision. Okay, so let's move on then to question number 1. And in question number 1, we've got table show the heights of 80 children. Okay, and the first thing it's asking us to do is to find the class interval that contains the median. Okay, well, the median is the middle value. So what we're basically saying is that we've got 80 children, so the median is going to be the first child plus the 80th child divided by 2. Okay, so that's going to give you, if you like, the 40.5 child. Okay, in practice we would probably use the 40th or the 41st depending on what kind of level of information we were looking for, but it wouldn't really matter. What we're saying here is this accounts for the first 15 and this then accounts for 15 plus 24. Okay, so that's going to be 39. So the median child is actually in this group here. It's the first person or the second person in this particular group. Okay, so the median interval is going to be 160 less than h less than or equal to 170. Okay, hope that's okay for you. Let's move on then to drawing a frequency polygon. Okay, well, in a frequency polygon what we're looking for is for the we're plotting the frequency against the height. Now remember that actually it's the mid value of the height that we're looking to plot. So if we go back to our particular grid at the top here, what we're plotting is this mid value 135, 145, 155, 165 and 175 against the frequency. Okay, so it's not like a cumulative frequency diagram, it is a frequency polygon, so we're plotting the midpoint. Okay, so what we'll end up with is the first plot is going to be something along the region of 135 to 4, so that's going to be that point there. And then we got 145 to 11, so that's going to be this point here. And then we've got 24 to 155, so 155 to 24 is up there. Okay, 165 to 22, 165 to 22 is there. Okay, and then 175 to 19, which is going to be there. Okay, and what you'll end up with is a very classic kind of mountain type of picture. Okay, and it'll look something like that. I hope that's okay for you. Let's move on then to conversions, which is in question number 2. Okay, so question number 2, we've got in London 1 litre of petrol costs that. Okay, and in New York 1 US gallon of petrol costs that. Okay, then it gives us some conversions, and our job really is to work out which city the petrol is better value for money. Okay, so let's look at London. Now bear in mind with these, what we're going to do is we need to make sure we're comparing like for like. So in London, okay, what we're saying is that 1 litre is going to cost £1 and 89 pence. Okay, so therefore we're also told that £1 equals $1.46. So in that case, if we're looking for a conversion and we want to find out what this is going to cost, in other words, the dollar value of 1 litre, what we can say, well, actually, if we're looking for 1.089, we've multiplied that by 1.089, so therefore we do the same with that, and that's going to give us the dollar value for 1 litre of 1.58 994. Okay, so the dollar value of 1 litre is going to be $1.59. Okay, so I can't really write a dollar sign, and that's going to be $1.59 per litre. Okay, so that's the value in London. We're going to do exactly the same with the value in New York. Okay, so in New York, I've got a situation, the information I've been given is that I've got 3.785 litres equals 1 US gallon. Okay, that's fine, no problems at all. Okay, therefore it means that if I want to work out the value of 1 litre, what I'm going to divide is by 3.785. Okay, so I'm going to divide that through, and that's going to give me 1 US gallon rather than $2.83. I'm going to divide that through again, and I'm going to get 75 cents, 0.75. Okay, so therefore I know that in New York 1 litre is going to cost me 75 cents. Okay, so therefore in answer to the question, New York is going to be the better option for me. Okay, hopefully you've followed through the logic in that particular reasoning, the way that we've tackled that particular question. Hopefully that's fairly well laid out for you. You can see what I've done there. All right, let's move on then to question number 3. And we've got a gold bar has a mass of that, a density of that. Okay, so what we need to know is the formula, which is density equals mass divided by volume. Okay. And then really it's just a case of manipulating this particular equation to figure out the information that they're looking for. So they're telling us the density is 19.3, but what I'm noting here is that that is a unit of grams per centimetres cubed. So you've got to be very careful, because what they've done is they've given us the mass of the gold bar as kilograms. Okay, well I don't want it in kilograms if I'm working with grams per centimetre cubed, so therefore I need to convert that 12.5 kilograms into grams. So that's going to be 12,500 grams divided by the volume. Okay, all right, so to find out volume, what I'm going to do is I need to just do a little bit of algebraic kind of manipulation here, but if I swap those two figures around, that's fine. Okay, I can have volume equals 12,500 divided by 19.3, which is true, but in order to get there, I just want to sort of go through why that actually works. Okay, because if I multiply both sides by volume, that goes, and this side I end up with 19.3 times volume equals 12,500. So if I want to then find out what volume is on its own, I'm going to divide both sides by 19.3. Okay, so in a bit of a long-winded way, what I end up with is volume equals 12,500 divided by 19.3. Now the reason that is because that and that go. Okay, I've cancelled that, and it gives me this ability to be able to manipulate the equation. If I pop that into my calculator, I'll get an answer then of 647.668. Okay, but you'll note that the question actually asks you to give it in 3 significant figures, so that's therefore going to be 648 centimetres cubed. Okay, hope that's okay for you. Let's move on then to question number 4. Now please do stop the video, have a go at each of these questions, and then compare your solutions. So in question number 4, this is actually becoming a bit of a typical question. I see these quite a lot. So we've got blue, green, red pens in a bag of some sort, or in a box, yeah. And we've got a situation where it says we've got blue to green, which is 2 to 5, and then green to red, which is 4 to 1. So if you've got blue to green, that's going to be 2 to 5, okay? And then we've also got green to red, and that's in the ratio of 4 to 1, okay? So the problem we've got there is that we've got 5 green pens for every 2 blue pens, or we've got 4 green pens for every 1 red pen. Okay, well what we need to do is make that the same. So what I'm going to do is, if I multiply those two numbers together, it means I've got 20, which is great, okay? Because then I can say, well actually, I've multiplied this 5 by 4 to get to 20. Therefore, if I multiply this blue by 4, I'm going to get 8. Okay? So it's the same sort of thinking behind. I've multiplied this 4 by 5 to get to 20. So I'm going to multiply that 1 by 5. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense to you. That's how we would work these sorts of things out. Now it says there are less than 100 pens in the box. Well, at the moment, if I add these numbers up, what I'm going to get is 33. Okay, so there's actually 33 pens in the box. Okay, but it's asking me what is the greatest possible number of red pens in the box, bearing in mind that there's less than 100 altogether. So what I can do is I can multiply all of these by 3. Because if I multiply those by 3, it means I'm going to have 99 pens in the box, which is fantastic because it's less than the 100 that they're saying in the question. But bearing in mind, I've got to multiply each of these by 3 as well. So I'm going to get 15 of those, I'm going to get 60 of those, and I'm going to get 24 of the blue. Okay, so in answer to the particular question, the greatest possible number of red pens in the box will be 15. Okay. All right, I hope that's been okay for you. Please do, as I say, stop the video, have a look at each of these questions, compare your solutions. If you're not sure, please do have a look on the rest of the channel. There are plenty of playlists, and particularly these sorts of questions that deal with ratios. There are playlists there for you with additional examples. Okay, let's move on then to question number 5. And question number 5, find the value of the reciprocal of 1.6. Okay, so this is a calculator paper, so basically all you're doing, the reciprocal is saying, well, it's 1 over 1.6. Okay, now I would personally, I would probably do this just by a little bit of mental arithmetic, because I know that if I multiply this 1.6 by 5, I'm going to get 8, and that means that would be 5/8, and 5/8 as a decimal is 0.625. Okay, but you could use a calculator to figure that one out if you wanted to. It's not a problem. Okay, so Jess rounds a number x to 1 decimal place. The result is 9.8. So what we're basically saying is that we've got 9.8 and we've got the lower bound and the upper bound. Okay, so it's just really bounds that if the result is 9.8, the lowest bound of that, the lowest that number can possibly be, is going to be 9.75, because if I round to 1 decimal place, this 7 will become an 8, and the smallest that can be afterwards is a 5. If it was 4, it means that would still say a 7. If it was 6, it wouldn't be the lowest value, so 9.75. Okay, the upper bound then is 9.85. Okay, so error interval is just a way of saying write the bounds. So we're saying that the value of x is greater than or equal to, remember it's equal to that, okay, or it's less than 9.85. It can't be equal to 9.85, because if it is, then it would be rounded up. okay. I hope that's okay for you, and again on the channel there are playlists on bounds that you can have a look at. So let's have a look at question number 6. We're about 15 minutes into the video now. We'll keep working just for a little bit longer, see how we get on, and I'll probably aim to stop this video in about another 5 minutes or so. Okay, so here is a rectangle. The length of the rectangle is 7 centimeters longer than the width. So basically all we're saying here is that if the width is x, then the length is 7 plus x, okay? 4 of these rectangles being asked to make a shape, okay? The perimeter of the shape is 70. So really it's just an algebraic manipulation. Well, we're saying that if we look at these rectangles, I've got x, 7 plus x, x again. This one is going to be 7 because this is x, okay? So it's going to be just 7 on its own. That would be 7 plus x. That would be x. 7 plus x, okay? Hopefully you see my logic here, x. This would be 7 and this would be 7 plus x, okay? So really if I wrote this out now in a big long stream of information, what I'm going to get is x plus, so I'm starting here, okay? Remember it's the perimeter, so this is my x, then 7 plus x, okay? Then x again, then 7 plus x, then x, then 7 plus x, plus x, plus 7 plus 7 plus x, okay? So all of that sort of together is going to equal the perimeter, which is going to be equal to 70, okay? So all we're going to do then is work out the value of x. Because we've got the value of x, we can then work out the area of the 8-sided shape, because we'll know then that we'll have the tools to be able to work out the area of each of the rectangles. Okay, so once I put all of this together, what I'm going to find is I've got x, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to get 8x. Okay, so I can put 8x, and I've got 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42 plus 42 equals 70. Okay, so I can now work out the value of x, because if I take 42 away from both sides, I get 8x equals 28. Okay, I'm going to divide through then by 8, and I'm going to get x equals 3.5. Okay, so in other words, now we've got a rectangle. Each rectangle is going to look like this. It's going to be a width of 3.5 and a length of 3.5 plus 7. So that's going to be 10.5. Now if I multiply those two together to get the area, I'm going to get an area for each of 36.75 centimeters squared. Okay, now we know there's 8 of them, so therefore the total area is going to be 8 times 36.75, so that's going to give me a total area, not 8 times, sorry, 4 times, yeah, 4 times, there's 4 different, it's the area of the 8-sided shape, I do beg your pardon, so the total area is going to be equal to 36.75, and there's 4 of them all together, so that's going to give you a total area of 147 centimeters squared, and that would be the answer to this particular question. Okay, I think we'll do one more, which is going to be question number 7, and then we'll stop at this particular point. Okay, so we'll move on then to question number 7. So work out this and give your answer as an ordinary number. So again, you can use a calculator for this, it's no problem at all, but what I would do is I would keep the actual calculation separate from the standard form element of it. So what we've got is we've got 13.8 multiplied by 5.4, and then the standard element is going to be 10 to the power of 7 times 10 to the power of minus 12. Okay, so what I've got then, if I multiply these two together, I'm going to get 74.52. And then I've got 10 to the power of 7 times 10 to the power of minus 12. Well, I add the indices, so that's going to give me 10 to the power of minus 5. Okay, so that's fine as it is at the moment, but it's not really in standard form. In standard form, we need to move the decimal point back, so that's going to be 7.452. times 10 to the power of minus 4, okay? But it has actually asked us to give the answer as a ordinary number. I suspect that's the answer that we're going to get on the calculator. So to convert that to an ordinary number, we've got to move the decimal point back 4 places. So if I start from here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I would have my decimal point. So it's 3 zeros, okay, so my answer is going to be 0.30123745, and that would be the answer to this question. Okay, so that's 20 minutes into the video. That's probably a good time for us to stop. I will carry this on with question number 8 onwards in the next video in the playlist. I hope it's been useful to you. Please do add a comment below if you're not sure about anything. I'll look forward to seeing you inside the next video.